Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. I'm Lamar Haven. Welcome back to 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, and 9 doors. When last we left our hero, we had gotten murdered. Again. For the third time. There's a lot of endings where you get murdered. This time, we're gonna try and see if we can't get the true ending. That said, I'm excited. If we can get the true ending today, that'd be super cool. Of course, if we do it early, we will be moving on to another game. Speaking of other games, if you would check the title, there's a straw poll posted. On Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I play Wild Arms 4. It might be ending soon. If it ends, then I'm going to need people to vote for what they want to see me play next. Digital root of 999 is 9. Wow, the more you know. Yet, that's definitely true, because 9 doesn't change the digital root of any value. Kersplash! So we're going to be zooming past everything as fast as we can. We know the route we want to take, and we will be taking it as quickly as possible. Yep, nope, stop it. There we go. Give me this. Let's see, then it was this way to get this key. Actually, 9 changes the digital root to 0, so there. 0 doesn't count. 0 is a non-value. Yada yada, 0 scary face, the knockout gas. Did I ever vocalize that I made the connection that the knockout gas is the same gas that they specifically mentioned that the drug company that's a big deal in this game made? So I'm pretty sure it is. Oh right, I need to switch to my note page that has the notes for this one. There we go. Alright. What are you going to do to escape this room? Yuck, 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 yuck. Come on. Come on. Go. Woo, there's the stuff on the back. I don't even know if I need to actually look at that sort of thing. There we go. Blue is 0, 2, 6, 3. You technically only need the 2 keys. Oh. I just get everything else, because why not? I guess it's a waste of time. I guess that's why not. Red. And red is 7485. Ta-da! Alright, now I leave you, and we go to here, use the card keys, then it tells me I need to use 761, come on, pulls the lever, thank you, and then we leave. I'm giving real information. What is this? Alright. Now we've got a long wait until we do something useful. I'm usually way more sarcastic. Alright. By the way, folks, recorded my first episode of Undertale for YouTube today. It's so cute! I love it! It's so great! I can't wait to play more of it. I'm gonna try and record a bunch of it tonight, but I shouldn't record a ton today because I need to make time to edit some videos, so I should really do that after stream. Why are you skipping the dialogue? Don't you care about the story? No. The story's dumb and I hate it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The story is fine. The story's great, actually. I really like the story. We've just seen it like 5 times. Technically once. Every other time we've skipped past it. Comes Fallen Down reprise at top volume. The music has very much intrigued me too, yes. But I should avoid talking about Undertale. I should avoid talking about other games other than the one we're currently playing. Yada yada, everyone's getting nicknames. That hurts my soul, Yoshika. I'm pretty sure this is someone trolling. Part of me just wants to record an absolute metric ton of Undertale, though, just so I can avoid people spoiling stuff in YouTube comments. Because I know that's a thing. Which kind of helps that I'm a week ahead in recording. More than a week ahead now. So, especially since we're going to be skipping the normal Friday update for my main series because Resident Evil 4 should end Wednesday, in theory. Thank you for honoring my comment. Well, Sir Matt, here's the thing. It's sort of tradition for me when I do a Twitch highlight that the quote, that the name, the title of the video is a quote from someone in chat. And since you were the only one talking in chat, and it was a really fitting quote, I used that. If you check my playlist that shows all my Twitch highlights, you'll notice that's true for pretty much all of them. For absolutely all of them, I think. I heard Undertale, you summoned me. The Night Kirby. I recorded my first episode of Undertale, so... Thanks to you for donating it, in fact. I do mention you in the first video, because, I mean... How could I possibly not mention the person who gave me the game? Yada yada yada. Lots and lots of talking. Important talking, but not important to us anymore. Meta Knight Kirby, the first episode, I'm already in love with the game, so you don't have to worry about that. I won't say any more, of course. I'm gotta watch the first video, but I will say I think I have the right mindset for a game like Undertale. Anyway, can we finally get to the point where I get to choose the door, please? Yada yada yada. I'm gonna have to move through door 4 as fast as possible. Door 4 will be fine. Move, move, move! Alright. Get to the dead, and then we can actually begin the gameplay part. We're going to be doing a ton of skipping today, because I've already done 4 and 7 in that order that causes the thing to trigger. It's just one after that is going to be mostly skip dialogue as well, and then we're going to get to the part that I'm guessing has changed due to us going through doors 4 and 7. Now I'm looking for your Twitch highlights playlist. Hold on, I'll find it for you real fast. It is super easy for me to look that kind of stuff up, because I have access to my playlists a lot, easily. Okay, Video Manager, playlist. It should be one of the top ones. Twitch stream highlights. There we go. Lexiville, hello! And yes, you are just in time. We are trying to find the true ending. Like taking the clover and pretty much everything else you did last time. Yes. I do need to be careful to make sure I do those things correctly. Alright, in the bathroom. Find the right one. There we go, found the tile. Alright, what was in here? Matches. And this is when we had the conversation with June. The Twitch highlights playlist is specifically just for random highlights, usually of my Monday, Wednesday, Friday games, but sometimes of the Tuesday, Thursday ones, where something hilarious happens, something particularly funny, and I want folks to see it even though those don't get recorded. Guess this room is no match for you. It's actually annoying because one of the Twitch highlights, which kind of gives good context to another Twitch highlight, doesn't exist because Twitch won't let me export it. It's just broken. I've tried downloading the video file myself and it won't work. It downloads as like a 2-second file. And it's super frustrating, and I have no idea why. Let's see, matches. Mine. Alright, now we bust out the dresser key. Get the plate. Then we grab something over here. This thing. When you acknowledge our puns in the description of YouTube videos, that's very nice of you. Yeah, I kind of had some fun with the descriptions of the Tuesday game, Tuesday stream. Oh, the candlestick, right? My bad. Open sesame. Clover. I'll take it. Alright, we'll swap the screen setup again. Like gambling. Alright, let's put them all in. You're supposed to swap this way, and then rotate like that. Then you two swap, I think? Yep, there we go. Take key. Alright, then we get to talk about all this. A Funyun Rimpa. We're not doing this again, by the way. I've already done it twice. Alright. Now we can leave. Yeah, we are aware that the third installment has been announced. I'm just really sad that I'm not going to be able to play it on stream. As you can tell, Sir Matt is very excited because he's been doing digital roots all over the place. Not acknowledging the Funyun Rimpa, you're a rude streamer. Okay, I think we have to check this a few times so that she can tell us how this works. Alright. Open here, get a knife. BLR only exists because of international fans? I don't know about that. I mean, I would have to... I don't know enough about the history to know if that's true or not. I don't know if petitions really even help. I mean, they may give the publisher a little bit of indication, oh, people would buy this game if we put it out, but I don't know if they actually help in any useful manner. Alright, let's do the ice thing. I'll swap the screen setups. I guess the normal screen setup I use for puzzle solving doesn't really matter if we're not doing very meticulous puzzle solving. We're not doing the meat thing again, by the way. Regular DS games, sure. 3DS games, not so much. Frozen chicken, combined with this. Smashy smashy. Rope. Bottle. Combine with you. Combine with you. Get the bottle bondage back. Bottle bondage. Hey, Junpei, you forgot something. That, Santa tossed something the size of a football in Junpei's direction. Caught it in midair. Oh, I did forget this. Whoops. It's the frozen pork. I took it out of the freezer. It looked kind of suspicious. I did totally miss that. Good thing he showed it to me. Wow, thanks. I guess they won't keep you from not being able to solve this puzzle without it, you know? Combine with you. Use the pork. Use the knife. C plus 10 plus F. Where do I have that solution written down? I wrote it down somewhere. C plus 10 plus F. There we go. Four, three, enter. BLR looks more cartoony, huh? Interesting. Wonder if how that affects the game itself. Don't tell me, of course, because I might eventually play it. They only get digital release in Europe, but they allow pre-orders on the 3DS eShop nowadays. Alright, come on, come on, come on. I want to get to the point where I get to make decisions again. they had they were supposed to have English voice acting? Wait, 3DS version? Are there other versions? Are these games ports like sort of like the original Ace Attorney games were? Oh well, I prefer my voice acting. Not really, but at least it's amusing. Also, I won't be able to use this voice for any other characters in the future without thinking of them as murderous psychopaths. Sequel has 2 ports, 3DS and PS Vita. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad it's on multiple systems. But yeah, that would suck if the 3DS version doesn't get the voice acting, and the Vita would. Really, Yoshikev? That's super weird. I don't know why European and American releases get so different in so many ways. It seemed kind of arbitrary. Wonder why that is. It seems arbitrary from an outside perspective, but it probably makes perfect sense from an inside perspective. It might have something to do with the, what am I trying to think of? Might have something to do with ratings. That's right. Ratings in the US and Europe are different, so sometimes that causes some issues. But it's more complicated even than that. It's weird. I just wish I knew more about it. I should probably look that kind of thing up. I wonder if Extra Credits ever did a video on that. That sounds like something that's right up their alley. Regional differences between games and why they exist, and why, well, and some of the challenges of why, of doing different regions for the same game. To buy the rights of the VA in Europe? Oh, that could also be an issue. You would have to buy the rights in different places, wouldn't you? That's really cheap, though. I wonder if in Europe voice actors get better benefits than they do in the US. At least for games. I know the American voice actors for games were like striking for a while, I think, because they just don't get the money they deserve. Anyway, we're going to door 7. We get to hang out with Seven and Clover. And we're gonna make sure to give Clover the clover. And the two are fighting again. Wow, specifically for role-playing VLR-style nonary games. That sounds super cool! Alright, we're gonna grab the forceps next. Grab that, of course. Forceps. Alright, and we're gonna use the forceps on you. We're gonna combine you with you. Let's just reveal this so we know what we're doing. The English VA is actually really good. That's good to hear. Let's go this way first. I need the liquid. Alright, and what was the answer for this puzzle? Not that page. Not that page. This page. There we go. Alright. The answer is 349. take the hut. Take the arm. This is where we talk with Seven. Know about Ice 9. Then we learn about her. This petal is pretty heart. Do you mean hearty? Because I think your pun fell apart at the end there, Yoshkev. Alright, this way. This way. Is there anything in here? There is. The medical records. Red liquid. And blue liquid. Pretty hard is what you were going for. That's not what it ended up being. It fell apart. See, Sir Matt gets it. Alright, let's go to here. Alright, put all these on. And the number is wrong. So we know something's wrong and we have to change the bodies. And we know what to change the bodies to. Just swap all the body parts and leave the hearts. Key. Oh, right. This way. And then Clover wants to talk to us. I'm German, don't judge me. Alright, this is where Clover needs a little bit of support, and give her the 4-leaf clover. And this is where it's revealed that she knows about the experiment, the previous one that happened. It happened on this boat, nonetheless. This is where she talks about the ship of Theseus. Don't get too racist there, Matt. Alright, then we get over here. And the next big option is we want to go to door 1. Well, if Yoshkev doesn't mind the joke, who am I to say anything? Just holding down a direction. Of course there's a reason. Being locked up alone with a boy. That's fair, Yoshkev. But, like, if you are uncomfortable, feel free to let us know. Because I don't want anybody going too far. Because even ironic racism can have serious issues. Even for the sake of humor. So, Just as long as you're not uncomfortable, we're good. Dum-dum-dum-dum. Discovering things like a door with a 6 on it. This is where it's revealed that Snake is dead, even though he totally isn't. Say, of course, Zero could be hiding on the ship. And say, well, that's possible. Because, yes, Zero could be among us. Oh, that sucks, Meta Knight Kirby. I really hope it clears up for you. I wish I had some way to change my, you know, source high or whatnot, but that's not a thing I'm ever going to get at this rate. And, I mean, my bitrate is like 1,000, so my bitrate is ridiculously low. Door number 1. I kind of ship Lotus and Seven a little bit. Like, if Seven could stop being such an asshole to her sometimes, they would really get along. The thing is, though, I'm not entirely sure if Lotus is still married. Because she hasn't indicated she has a husband still. Or at all, honestly. So, I don't know if she's a single mother. That really sucks, Meta Knight Kirby. I'm sorry. Alright, this is gonna... I'm less familiar with this puzzle, so... we're gonna have to take this one a tiny bit slower. I did write down a lot about this puzzle, though, so let me see if I can find it. This might be this page? Yes, it's this page. Cool. Gold pocket watch. It was a lie. All Junpei wanted was to get rid of Ace. He'd sent Ace to the wheelhouse at the beginning for a reason. There was something he meant to ask Clover, and he meant to ask her in private. There was something he wanted to ask Clover, and he didn't want anyone else to hear him ask it. He also knew that Clover would likely remain silent if there were anyone else around when he asked. That's why he was so desperate to send Ace back to the wheelhouse. Ace opened his mouth, then took another look at Junpei and shut it again. Oh, and then everything else runs the same. Phew. Junpei let out a sigh and brushed a few drops of sweat from his forehead. He turned and found himself looking straight into Clover's eyes. She'd heard what Ace had said. She regarded Junpei with caution. What was that about? She was clearly suspicious, and with good reason. Junpei's eyes widened and he held up his hands in a gesture of innocence. Oh, no. It's not like that. What's it like, then? I just wanted to hear the rest of that story. I didn't get a chance to ask you about it until now. What story? About the experiment. Remember? The one you started to tell me about in the operating room? You said something about an experiment that happened here 9 years ago. Clover bit her lip. She stared down at the floor for several long moments, and when she spoke, it was barely audible. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I'm just not in the mood, okay? You understand, right? I keep thinking about my brother. I can't stop. I mean, who would do something like that to my brother? I can't forgive them. I'm not gonna let them get away with it. They're going to pay for it, I promise. So... Her shoulders were shaking. Drops of blood had sprung up on her lips where she was biting them. She wiped it off and looked at Junpei, her eyes fierce and angry. Junpei, who do you think did it? Oh shit, this is huge! I'm gonna save. No, I would not like to quit. Her voice was cold and scarcely above a whisper. Junpei gulped. Well, if what Seven said was right, then there had to be at least 2 of them. You need at least 3 people to open the numbered doors. If you subtract Snake, that means there was at least 2 other people. You're right. So what does that mean? Well, if we just look at the bracelet numbers, we should be able to figure it out. Who could have opened door 3 with Snake? Well, really, who and who? Or who and who? You mean it could have been 4 people? Well, technically it's possible. I don't know. That doesn't seem very likely. Why? Oh, I'll tell you later. Why don't we just assume it was only 2 other people for now? Okay, got it. Let's do that then. And who do you think it could be? Junpei crossed his arms in thought. Snake's bracelet number was 2. Which 2 numbers added together would give a digital root of 3? No, it's none of these! It's Ace and the number 9! Fuck! What am I supposed to answer here, guys? If it's not giving me Ace and 9... Okay, this is a legitimate question, because we are going for the true ending. Is there a right answer here? Because it's either Ace and 9, Santa and 7, or... what was the other combination? Lotus and Ace? No, Lotus and Ace doesn't work. It has to be Ace and 9. There is no right answer. Okay. Santa and 7 then is the only one that mathematically works. Would it be Santa and 7? Could it be? Were Santa and 7 the killers? What's wrong? Clover looked at Junpei and he looked back at her. There was no point in hiding it. He told her his conclusions. That's what I thought. She looked less surprised than he'd expected. Santa and 7? If it was 2 people, that's the only combination that works. Hey, wait a minute there. Don't you think it's a little too early to be jumping to conclusions? Why, all I said is that those 2 would have been able to open door 3 with your brother. There might be other possibilities. Well, what other possibilities? He didn't have an answer. He was ready to admit defeat when Clover spoke. Are you saying you think that it was 3 or 4 people? I really don't think that's likely. Why? Can I borrow your pen and paper? Clover put out a hand expectantly. Junpei pulled out his pen and pad of paper and handed them to her. Cool! Kirby, I'm glad you found a solution. What is Tard's Playa anyway? I really don't like that name, just because whenever someone says Tard, they usually mean, yeah, the insult. I hate that word. She opened the notebook and wrote down several simple addition problems. I just hope that's not the reference they're going for. I don't know if that's the reference they're going for. It's just, I have an immediate visceral reaction to seeing that word and being like, don't use that word! Eventually, she had 8, which provided a digital root of 3. 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6, 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 5, plus 4 plus 7 plus 8, plus 5 plus 6 plus 8, plus 1 plus 3 plus 7 plus 8, 1 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. What's this? These are the combinations for 3 or 4 people. Those 8 combinations are the only possible ones. I see. Junpei? Yeah? I can trust you, right? Of course. Why would you need to ask that? Really? Yeah. So then I should get rid of B, D, G, and H, right? Of course. Just cross them out. And you should take off yours, too, the ones with 4. So what does that leave? A and E. So either it was... Yeah, I mean, obviously we know none of these are true. But, yeah. Yeah, I know, but even if you use that word in that way, the cultural context of how that word is normally used nowadays just renders that obviously not a word you would want to use, you know? It just makes it, even though the word is functionally sound and dictionary definition not insulting, the cultural context means use a synonym because there's other options, you know? So that is the reference the program's trying to make. Ugh, gross. I hope maybe there's another program that does something similar that I'd be able to find and recommend to people if they're having similar problems. Wait, it can't be A. Why not? Because June's in that one. There's no way in hell she'd do something like that. Are you sure? I bet my life on it. Okay then. I can cross off A2, right? Yeah. Well, what have we got left? E. So, literally everyone else. Do you know what this means? Everyone besides me, you, and June would have to be working together. Do you think that's likely? If there were 4 people working together, they wouldn't be very cautious. I don't think they'd try that hard to hide what they were doing if they outnumbered everyone else. I wouldn't get hung up on a simple thing like a name, but oh well if it works. Yeah, I know. But I mean, it's like, if someone just made that program and it works so easily, I'm guessing there are multiples out there, and if there's one out there that works the same functionality and doesn't have that name, I would definitely choose the other program over it. Is just my response to it. I'm not mad at anybody, and I'm not going to say don't use it. It's got a bad name. No, it's bad taste. That's all. Well, you do have a point. And besides, if Ace and Seven are working together, they could have easily gotten rid of me when I went to the shower room with them, but they didn't even try anything. If they were the killers, why wouldn't they? Her voice was calm, but Junpei had only to look her in the eye to know it was forced calm. There were tears forming at the corners of her eyes, and she was blinking furiously to keep them back. Perhaps by attempting an objective analysis of who might have killed her brother, she has been able to distance herself from the harsh reality of his death. The more she struggled to act unconcerned, the more Junpei felt his heart tighten. Okay. Yeah, well, that does make sense. It seems pretty unlikely that it was as many as 3 or 4 people. Yeah, that means there's a good chance it was Sansa and Seven. That's how it looks. But why would they do it? There was a moment of silence. I think I know. Maybe, Yoshkiv. I mean, it's probably out there and just not well advertised or anything. And maybe I'll give it a look at some point. What is it? He laid his hand gently on her shoulder. He was close, so close to the answer. When Ace chose the worst possible moment to return. He raised a knowing eyebrow and then spoke. Have I interrupted something? What do you want? There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment? He turned on his heel and walked back toward the wheelhouse. Junpei looked over at Clover, gave a short nod, hoped that she would be willing to talk to him later, and followed Ace. What do you want to talk about? Ace looked at Junpei and smiled. Perhaps more of a smirk than a smile. There was something I wanted to check. Yeah, what's that? If you'll excuse me. Oh, this part. He's checking my pockets for the other number. Hey! What the hell are you doing? He reached for Ace's arm. But it was already too late. In the older man's hand were the pieces of paper Junpei had balled up and hidden in his pocket. I can't skip this, by the way. Just as I thought. You switched them, didn't you? When we voted. Oh, well. I can't say that I care. I managed to get through the number door I wanted, despite your mischief. Why did you... Oh, simply curiosity. I hope you don't think ill of me for it. Ace smiled, gave Junpei a friendly pat on the shoulder, and then turned his heel and left. It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei had lost the upper hand and he knew it. He'd feel his stomach begin to tense. Alright, I guess I need to start doing this stuff. Oh, right, I don't need to do that yet. This one. I need to do this first. I can't spin this one? Okay. Maybe I do it this one. No. I do it to one of those. Maybe I have to figure out about this handle first, and then it'll let me? Yep, okay. So first things first. Oh, right, the directions. I memorized the directions last time. Shoot. Let me just go back real fast and look those up. Item. So it's southwest, southwest. I'm gonna write this down. Southwest, southwest, northwest, east, north. There we go. Written down. Okay, so south. Then west. Then southwest. Then northwest. Then east. So right now we're on practically the same paths before, but Clover's not going to snap. That's the theory. And we've had a bigger conversation with Clover in here now because of that. So hopefully that means she won't do something drastic and we can actually help her out. Alright, the next is I want full, half, slow, full, half, dead, stop. Yes, hi, Troubleface. What are you doing in my room? What's up, girl? Parents' cat decided to come visit. Alright, let's look at this. Let's bust out this item. And then he adjusts the watch. Now we go ahead and put the watch here. And we're out. And this is when we find the body. And the telegraph machine. Oh, I don't think I wrote down some of the solutions from this room. I did write down one, so... You're going straight to the top and slightly left. Kanye's Child? I don't get the reference. It doesn't seem the power's on, okay. Take a look at this. There's the music box. That gets us that. Oh, can't skip this. Well, even if he wasn't one of us, there's no way this man could be Zero. Don't you get it? The letters that spell Zero on the TV screen. The captain's clothes he's got on. And of course, the bracelet with the Zero on it. It's too obvious. He named it Northwest. Oh, okay. Look, look, there's a Zero right here. This dead body is Zero. Doesn't that seem kind of funny to you? You're right. Only an idiot wouldn't see through something like that. No, that's not the point. I'm not trying to make fun of them or thinking a trick like that would work. I'm sure they didn't think it would work, which makes me wonder, why did they do it? I think this is a challenge from the person who's really behind all this. He's making fun of us. Don't you get it? If whoever killed this guy really wanted us to think this corpse was Zero, they'd never put a bracelet on him. Walking about with a Zero bracelet would be like hanging a sign on your neck that said, I did it. Anyone with a brain would be able to see that this guy is supposed to look like everything Zero is supposed to be, just like we did. The killer must have known we wouldn't think he was Zero, and put the bracelet on him anyway. Do you know why? Why? Like I said, he's mocking us. Uh-oh. Something just hopped into my head. Oh no! Oh no! I think I know what's gonna happen! Oh no! Okay, one of my theories is going to pan out, I think. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I will be completely honest if I'm right or wrong later. But yeah, like I said, he's mocking us. Too bad, suckers, this isn't Zero. It's the same bad joke a lot of criminals like to play. They'll just sit back and watch people run in circles. Let's just say we're spending an awful lot of time with Clover, and not a lot of time with June. That said, also, another reason why this guy is dead is to give us the temptation of taking his bracelet to use it. Look, here I am. What's wrong, guys? Come on, catch me if you can. That's really twisted, but it almost seems kind of childish. Yeah, you're right. It's really childish. It's like this is just a game to whoever person this is. That's what seems funny to me. Junpei bent down next to the corpse. Alright, let's get back to the point. Who killed this man? I don't know. Well, what's this guy's deal? Who is he? How would I know that? If I knew anything, I would have told you. You have no idea who he is. Why would I? Junpei sat back on his haunches and thought. We should check and see if he's got anything on him that might tell us who he is. Give me a hand here, Clover. What? We gotta flip him over. Now else we're gonna search his pockets. Clover didn't move. Junpei had no choice but to move the body on his own. Grabbed hold of an area not completely covered in blood and shoved. It took a moment, but eventually Junpei felt the man's bulk begin to shift. Just as it did, something fell from the man's left wrist. The bracelet was Zero in the face. We didn't go through any of this last time! Yada yada, how to remove bracelets. Junpei stared at the bracelet. This man, he's dead, isn't he? Huh? No, it's just, I guess I didn't really think about it until now. If his bracelet's off, that means he's dead. Well, it's pretty obvious that he's dead. You don't really need to look at his bracelet to figure that one out, he's dead. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is pretty obvious. He looks a lot better than the other bodies we've been through, though. I mean, if there wasn't all this blood, he'd almost look like he was still alive. I mean, I know it's kind of messed up thing to say, but he kind of has it better, you know? Dying from a bomb going off inside you. I mean, that's just... Some of Snake's bones went right through his skin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're gonna touch on it. I think the explosion must have thrown him against a wall or something. There's a broken bone just sticking out of his left arm. Suddenly, Junpei realized what he was saying. How could he have been so cruel? He clapped his hands over his mouth. But it was already too late. He turned to look at Clover. She was glaring at him furiously. What did you just say? Her words sounded cold. He knew an apology would never atone for what he'd done, but he tried anyway. Oh man, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really don't know what I was thinking. I mean... No, that's not what I'm talking about. What did you say about his arm? Arm? Yeah, his left arm. You said it, didn't you? Well, yeah, I did, but... I mean, didn't you see it too? Of course not. I could barely look at him. Clover took a quick, deep breath. Are you sure it was his left arm? Junpei thought back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And he had a broken bone, right? What the hell are you getting at here? Just shut up and answer me! She shoved her face closer to his. He could see the fire in her eyes. Junpei winced and swallowed. Yeah, he did. It was pretty bad, too. The bone was sticking out of the arm. No sooner were the words out of his mouth that Clover's expression changed. Suddenly she was crying. Junpei wasn't sure what to do. Thank you. It was close to the last thing he expected to hear. Junpei had no idea what had just happened. He didn't think he'd done anything worthy of thanks, and he couldn't understand why she had chosen that moment to begin crying. So he simply stood there, confused. Thank you, Junpei. She thanked him again, and then something even stranger happened. Oh! Clover threw herself into Junpei's surprised arms. Hey, what's going on with you? I'm sorry, it's just... I'm so happy. Why? The body in the shower room. It isn't his. It isn't my brother. Huh? It's not Snake. Why on earth would you think that? Because his left arm is... She stopped herself. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be talking about this. Junpei decided it would be prudent not to press her for any more information. If she did not wish to tell him, she certainly had a reason for doing so. Perhaps more importantly, however, it was if Clover was so certain, then she was likely right. That meant that the body in the shower room wasn't Snake. It wasn't much, but that knowledge lifted some of the weight from Junpei's heart. He's still alive. I'm so happy. Tears shone in her eyes. Those tears melted Junpei's heart. As she cried, she had pushed herself against his chest like a child. Junpei put his arms around her and held her tight. Junpei, you were right. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, then you'll bring good luck. Clover reached into her pocket and pulled something out. It was a laminated bookmark with a 4-leaf clover. Clover, please, if June finds out! Yes, what would she do? And before we still get axed. I only made it here because you gave me this. I was suspicious of everybody and I was angry and miserable. Because I had this 4-leaf clover. Because of what you said to me, Junpei hadn't thought his words would have such an effect on her. Her words were making him feel a little awkward. Thank you so much, Junpei. She looked up at him. He scratched his nose and pretended to notice something interesting somewhere else in the room. If you really want to thank somebody, you should be thanking Santa. Santa? Why? Well, he was the one who gave me that thing. And the words for each leaf, I got that from him too. Then suddenly, Clover broke away from Junpei. Huh? He looked confused. He hadn't thought she'd react that poorly. Clover began to pace across the room. 6 steps to the left, 6 steps to the right. Another 6 to the left, and then she stopped. Did Santa really tell you those things? Her eyes were serious, but not angry. Yeah, he did. Did I, say something wrong? No, not at all. In fact, this could be really good news, I think. You think? Santa knew about the words in the clover. Only people who should know about that are the other subjects. What? Wait, this isn't a normal leaf knowledge thing? That sounds weird to say. Subjects? The other people who were in the experiment 9 years ago with my brother and me. But he's blind, and I was part of the Nevada test group. So neither of us would be able to recognize the faces of the people who were on the boat. Whoa. Time out. Yes, time out. Time out would be good. In fact, we're taking a rather long time out because it's time for a break. So get up, stretch, whatever you need to do, be able to keep watching comfortably, and I will be right back.